Rising off the Navajo Nation from a small community called Canyoncito, New Mexico, the Plateros are a Southwest native rock and blues family band. In 2004, they came on the music scene with a unique sound.
Play a genre not really quite known yet. Call it a Southwest native rock.
At a young age, Levi Platero was influenced and inspired by famous guitar players. More importantly, his father, Murphy Platero.
Well, my dad taught me at the age of 9 how to play certain basics. You know, like certain chords, E, A, D, G, C, F. You know, just went down the musical alphabet. So he taught me basics, a couple songs, and then after that, I just kind of ran with it. You know, took off the training wheels and just went. But that's kind of how it was. And he bought me a how-to video on how to play certain songs by Stevie Ray. So that's kind of where I just really started how to play lead, and that's kind of where I got my basics from, I guess, from Stevie Ray. And after that, I meditated on that guy. Like, I watched like every kind of video he had out. We kind of really started this little band around the age of 12. My age was 12, and we only had about 5 or 6 songs, enough for like a 30-minute set. And so we just, you know, ran with that.
All 3 of the band members fell in love with music, watching and listening to their family play every Sunday.
Well, music has always been a part of our lives. You know, we grew up in we grew up in a church setting, so it was a foundation where I built everything on, the music, and that's kind of where I was brought up, and that's where I was growing up at, and that's kind of where my stronghold is in my life.
Where would I be if you never rescued me? Where would I be if you kept your love from me?
Today, Levi continues to perform with his family. They have performed over 300 shows since 2005. They are considered one of the most exciting bands to watch live. Up to this day, Levi still remembers his first stage performance.
The earliest I can remember is probably, I was about 12 years old, and that was at the Gatherings of Nations, and that was about a 45-minute set, and that was pretty bad.
Levi came out on stage that night and amazed the packed crowd. The young guitarist slid across the stage with power chords and scream blues, as his family gave their first major performance. By the end of the show, the crowd had just seen the arrival of another Native American band. Little did they know that this was just the beginning of a journey that would take them from a small Indian reservation and across the entire country. We asked him when and where was his most memorable performance.
The best place I ever played was the latest place in Odessa, Texas, and that was my first. That was the first time I ever opened up for Lost Only Boys. And I've been waiting maybe about 10 years for that to happen. And it happened this past May. And that was something that was really awesome for me and a great experience for me. That was one of my favorite gigs. 4,000 people, auditorium, 3-story auditorium, and it was packed out. And it was amazing. And that was like one of my favorite, best thing that ever happened to me in my life. So that's up there, and that was one of my favorite shows I ever played.
In 2009, they won Best Blues at the New Mexico Music Awards from their second album, Hang On, which was nominated twice by the Native American Music Awards in 2006 and 2008. Their first music video, Forever I'm With You, was nominated for Best Music Video in 2009. Their performance is filled with some amazing energy with a mixture of blues, rock, funk, and gospel. The band is in the process of making a new album.
Yes, it's been about 5 or 6, been about 4 years now since our last album, and we just kind of took, I don't know if we took a break, but it was just kind of time to ourselves, and now we're just like, okay, let's go throw out an album. We can do it now. It's like we've had songs for the past 2 years, but we never really did anything about it. So now we can just finally push this album out. It's a lot different, I think. I'm not saying it's not blues. It's got blues influence, and it's got pop influence, it's got jazz influence, it's got R&B influences and stuff like that. And it's what I mean. It's just a sound that we really created on our own for the past 4 or 5 years. 5 years from now, I always see myself doing exactly what I'm doing now, in bigger auditoriums, bigger settings, bigger cities, not just the US, but I'm going to be praying to be going all over the world. Because I see seek to expand my horizons. And I think that it's just something that I intend to do. And yeah, 5 years from now, that's where I see myself.
Traveling hundreds of miles every weekend wears Levi and his band down. Every chance they get to spend time with their families, Levi likes to regroup and recharge.
What I do on my spare time is, I'll skate, I'll go run. I'm very into endurance and keeping myself in shape, I guess you could say. I have horses at home right now, and I like to take care of them and train them myself. And that's usually what uses up my spare time at home. That's what I do.
Blessed with a great talent, Levi has come a long way becoming a successful musician. Nonetheless, a role model among his own people.
Whoever watches this, or whoever youth watches this, I hope they're inspired, encouraged, and if they ever seen a performance that we've done, that's basically what I hope anybody gets off, not just youth, but anybody. They feel encouraged, inspired, to go back out there and face the world. And if it goes by as far as talent, just keep going on.